morning. It's Friday and I have coffee in my little holder. Iced coffee today because it's supposed to be 90 degrees again. I'm not sure how or why. I walked through a spider web when I came in here, and so now I'm like trying to get it, like I keep feeling it. Anyway, I'm not sure how it went from like 75 degrees and rainy for like a month, and now it's been 90 like all week. But the garden likes it. There's a lot of stuff happening out here. I came out last night. I went to my mom's and I came home and I had to water. Decided to give the little garden a little bit of water because everything looked a little bit thirsty. So I watered everything. I have an irrigation system, quote unquote. Oh, I left my coffee. I gotta go get it. Anyway, I have an irrigation system that I made, that I jerry-rigged out of an old garden hose. Actually, 2 garden hoses. One of them was old. So like when you see this bright green, that's the old garden hose. So basically all I did was I took the old garden hose and I ran it through here and I just drilled holes in it for the water to come out of. And the original plan was to have it go all the way through the tomato area also with a switch, and I do have that. That darker green hose is a hose I bought. It was like $10. It's just like a cheap hose. And then I can water the tomatoes when I want or not water the tomatoes when I want. So that worked okay until I added everything else. Like when I added the beans in here and when I added the melons, I had to keep drilling holes, obviously, to get water to them. And like I said before, we live in a really old, well, not really old, it was built in 1941, so it's, you know, almost 80 years old. And so the water pressure is not great, I found out. Oh, a nice breeze. Oh, what a nice breeze. The tomatoes are moving around a little bit over there. So as I started adding more plants, it stopped working as well. And I hate that. Because at first it worked really well. All I did was turn it on and it watered everything perfectly. And it still does, but I have to supplement with the other hose. So I have a splitter up by my house, and then I have my like hand sprayer, and then I have my irrigation hose. So last night I came out, that's a really long way of saying last night I came out and I turned on the irrigation hose for the first time in like honestly probably a month, and I took my hand sprayer and I hand watered the tomatoes and a few other things that don't have irrigation. Also, look at this cucumber. Look at him. He's right there. That's awesome. That's the burpless cucumber plant, and there actually is one on there that got pollinated. I saw it last night. I just kind of quickly walked around and made sure everybody was getting water, especially the cucumbers, because they like a lot. Oh, this bean down here is, I need to tie him up. And this other bean is climbing. The cantaloupe is vining. I mean, it's doing its thing, and the watermelon has attached itself to the trellis. These flowers don't look very good, but oh well, they're petunias. I don't know. I have some petunias out front that look really good, and then these are kind of like me. This other cucumber, this pickle plant, is like trying to take over from the bean trellis. None of these other beans have gone up yet, and I don't know why. I mean, I know they will at some point, but there's just the one that's gone up. So now I'm like, are these even pole beans or are these bush beans? Because this one that's going up looks so different. I don't know. The sunflowers. Are tall. Their heads are up there. They're getting bigger. My grandparents stopped by Wednesday night. And my grandpa has a garden in his backyard, and he's pretty much always had a garden back there. He had a big strawberry patch for a while that he actually transplanted from my old house. So when I was a baby, I lived in a house that I can actually see from my front porch here. It's just over on the next street. And my grandpa called those strawberries that he took toxic waste strawberries because my dad used to do like mud bog. And for those of you who are not familiar, you build a big truck. Well, you get a truck and you put really huge tires on it, and you drive around like a course, like a track, but it's like mud. So he used to work on that out there in the garage of that house, and he would like dump whatever he had that he needed to dump. He would dump it next to the garage, which looking back is like, okay, that's not great, but that's what he did. Also, there's a cardinal up there making a bunch of noise, probably yelling for his significant other. There's a couple of cardinals that live over here. There's a male and a female. The female likes to poop in the garden, and the male just kind of watches. It's weird. He's like the lookout. But yeah, so my grandpa took those strawberries, and so I was like little when that happened, and he had those until like 3 or 4 years ago. So those strawberries were like, probably 22, 23, 24 years old, which is awesome. So he's always kind of had a garden, and so he's super interested in what I'm doing over here with the cattle panels and the vertical gardening and all that, and the whole ripping up half my yard thing. So they stopped by and we're looking around, and my grandpa comes over here to this purple Russian that just looks terrible, and he's like, that plant needs water, and I'm like, no it doesn't. I'm like, no it doesn't, trust me, I know it looks terrible, but look how big it is. It's taller than I am now. I need to tie it back up. Yeah, it's huge. I said it doesn't need water, trust me. I know it looks dumb and it looks like it needs water, but it doesn't. So yeah, my grandparents popped by, and we're just admiring. That's what they do. I'm trying to figure out what to do with these broccolis, because they're gonna bolt pretty soon. It's getting hot. There are some new little broccolis on them, but yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with them, or what to put there. I may not put anything there, honestly, because these sunflowers are huge. Speaking of sunflowers, before I go, I came out last night to water, okay? And I come back here in the determinate tomato area, and I look down, and my sunflowers that I planted back here, what the heck? And this one over here is just completely gone, and so is that one. So I don't know what the heck happened back here. Like, I don't know if they just needed water. We only had 2 days of heat and I didn't water them, but I don't know what happened. So I don't have those sunflowers anymore, which is kind of sad. And I thought about starting them over, but I might start them over. I don't know. I probably will, let's be honest, because I really want to see what those look like. I bought them actually for next year, but there's a bunch there. I have a lot of seeds, so I can plant 3 more and it won't hurt anything. But yeah, I was kind of like, oh man, because they were growing, and you know, they were going to be cool. So I might replant those. By the time the garden tour comes out, I might be like, hey, guess what? I replanted those. So thanks for joining me this morning in the garden. Put my coffee back down. I love coming out here in the morning and just hanging out on Fridays before I go to work. It just kind of sets my day off in a good way. So I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.